Hey beauties, morning to you. So, beautiful people, I saw a picture on Facebook yesterday with Movado, the dancehall artist, and he was talking to a man. But based on the picture, this is how I surmise it, that the room, the music was on, it was loud, and so they were sitting in a couch, so he had to lean over very closely beside him to say what he's saying. And some people, when they're talking, they gesticulate a lot, like myself. We move our hands. So maybe based on the angle of how they caught the picture, remember when the picture is caught, you're frozen in that position in which it catches you. So his hand was out, he was over. And, I tell you, a mischief-making person put the picture up for social media to see and ask, basically, what do you think of this? Almost insinuating something very sexual in a perverted way. And I was incensed. I was highly disgusted. It really angered me within. And I said, this is just really not good. It is disrespectful to the person because both people may not even know that the picture was taken or it would have been posted in that position. Because it doesn't mean it had to be something of a sexual sense. As you look at it and you really examine it, you can tell that more than likely some loud music was being played and he had to lean over to say what he's saying to the individual and kind of go close. Maybe he doesn't want people to read what he's saying, so his hands is set away and whatnot. And they're going to place the picture up and ask, what do you think of it? To create some sort of illicit, diabolical, I call it, meaning from it. And I was very proud of some of the comments that said that is ridiculous. The picture should not even been posted, which I agree with. And the reason why you may say, Lord, it's just, no, it is not. Because some of these things, people will hear things, they will make their comments, and people will run with it and say, did you see it? And they accuse them. And it's like a Chinese telephone. By the time it gets down, you hear that the person is this way or that way. You hear that the person is this way, even when it is not true. And one of the most stained accusations that can ever come on is to accuse you of some level of sexual perversion. That thing doesn't leave you. Whether it's being a pedophile, whether it's men going with men, women going with women and whatnot. These things are awful. I've seen it happen to others. It's not good. I thought that was just, almost apprehensible. It was just out of line, out of order. And we're reveling in a lot of tearing down other people. We're reveling in creating a sort of thought and feeling about somebody that may not even be true. Let us hypothetically say it was even true. That's nobody's business. Pray for the man that his life will be transformed and he will go God's way. If that was even true, which I don't believe it is. Sometimes you scroll in it and a lot of these things coming up. There was a woman I never forgot. In fairly recent time, apparently she was at the airport. And she was not, you would call it, appropriately dressed for the airport, as what we would know. I don't know if the airport has rules, to be honest with you. I don't remember seeing any signs. It's just illegal to be out in public naked. So maybe you can actually wear a bikini to the airport. I don't know. So her, it's like a sort of a jumpsuit. I don't know how to, but it was a short jumpsuit. And so part of her bottom would have been showing and she had the thong, sort of a underwear. So you know how that looks, and somebody videoed her. And they posted it and people took it and made a mockery of it. Now, yes, I agree it was an inappropriate way to dress, an unwise way to dress. But I cannot believe we're living in an advent that you can't even walk in peace without somebody videoing you, taking your picture and then posting it publicly to make a mockery of you. You may say they're making a mockery of themselves because they're coming out public. That's none. Even then, let them do that. Let them do that, because if the laws of the land is not saying anything, why should you? I didn't know that God gave some of you the policing right to police people and post it and ask people's opinions until it happens to you. That's the only way you guys will understand. And it will. If it doesn't happen to you, it's your children, your grandchildren, and whomever. And when you see them bawling because of pain that they're feeling, you're going to remember, it's going to come back to your mind what you did to somebody else. I don't like these things. They're slanderous, they're evil, they're wicked. They damage the reputations of people that sometimes cannot be repaired. They're irreparable and singed the perception of their character. The good thing is that your character is who you are. Your reputation is what people think you are. That is why a lot of these stars have to get image consultants to make you think that they're sweet when maybe they're not necessarily. Or sometimes maybe the image consultant may say, you know what, maybe you think you're bad. You will get a lot of views and likes and whatnot when you're really not bad. I thought that picture was disrespectful of, what's his name, Movado. That was not good. And to say what you think. That's crazy. And then, you know, you have people laughing and whatnot, and people run with an idea that these men are that way. You see, sometimes they're laughing because the heart of man is desperately wicked. People feel good in reveling in other people's demise. They feel good. It feels good to the flesh. When you're angry, you're incensed, you're very angry, irate and infuriated. It feels good to your body when you're able to unleash that anger. It is only after you have unleashed that anger and a sense of sensibility comes to your mind, you feel really bad about it. But because you practice it so much, the next situation that arises that may not be good to you, may be ugly to you, you do that again. Until one day you look like the anger, till you look like the infuriated feeling. Have you ever seen something? As you look at their faces, you can tell that they're bitter, they're angry, they're miserable, they're resentful, they're unforgiving. It shows. It's like when you have cement. I seen when men mix cement with the gravel and the rough sand and water in the hot sun. You see when that thing dry, let me tell you, it's only the power of God can break that thing. It's tough. It's tear. My God, it's tear. That was highly disrespectful. Why would you do that to the man? And a lot of these things where it emasculates men and make men look a certain way, and you wonder sometimes when they get angry and retaliate and behave a certain way, because they must be frustrated, you know. Because I don't know if you people don't. You have to. I tell people, you know, I've often said it for years, the only way many people will understand, they have to fall in the same trap. You have to know what that rat trap feels like. For you to understand what the rat, not calling the man a rat, feels. The only way you can't understand, no matter how many times people say to you that it is wrong, or your children go through it, or somebody that you love, because no matter how evil you are, you know, there must be one person that you love. The Bible said it. That is why it says, love your enemies, because even the heathen, the wicked of the wickedest, love their own, somebody they love. There's at least one human being that they love and value and cherish and respect. No matter how their hearts are cold, there is that one. And it's until you are that one person or two or three or four is affected, then you will begin to understand what it is that you have done to others. That's disrespectful to do that to somebody's reputation and to try and mar the perception of their character. And to sometimes make their reputation irreparable when it is not true about them, which I don't believe it is. That shouldn't have even been posted. People should look to fight for truth, justice in our country, in the world. That is what we should be fighting for. Studying the life of Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King Jr., and some of the other greats. And try and fight for causes like that in our own spaces, in our families, in our communities, in the world, all over. That is what we should be putting out a lot of energy on. Doing well when we're at our jobs. Speaking highly of other people as best as possible, as much as you can. So that the rest of your life, the latter years of your life, can be blessed, highly favored. I am so incensed by it. It's like an indignation. I'm really not pleased by these things. Sometimes I really scroll past them, but that particular one, and I said to myself, and they use these things and emasculate men. And try to make people think that all, or like they would say 50% of the men are that way. That is not true. That's not a true representation of reality. That is not true. Guys, follow me on TikTok. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please share this message.